Good morning, good morning. I am off to the coffee shop this morning, which makes today's topic all the more exciting. So I got a couple of questions yesterday about one particular part of the Dick and Carey model, and that is the learner analysis and the context analysis. And the two questions I got was, how come all that stuff was just in one of those boxes as one step when it's clearly like three? And how would the learning context really work if you're working on developing e-learning? And so figured to hit that, I'll just start with the performance context. And essentially when you're looking at the performance context, you really want to look at a couple of different things about that are going to impact how you do your training and development. So the first is, are your learners going to get any support in their performance context? So for example, if you're teaching a new technique, is the supervisor that they're working with even going to let them do it? Or is he just going to say no? The second, are there any physical things about where your learners are going to have to do something? If you're teaching them to do something that may not physically be possible, and where they're going to have to do it. And then there's, the social aspects of their environment. Are things going to be acceptable? And then also the general skills that are in the area. And so all of that sort of comes together. And the reason that that's sort of combined with the learner analysis is the only way to really figure that out is to talk to your learners. So while you're doing the learner analysis and asking, what their prior knowledge is and what they have for a skill set and what their attitudes are to the training in general, you can also ask those questions about the environment that they're working in. So they sort of go together, at least in the data collection part. But when it comes to the learning context, it's really easy in a face-to-face environment to sort of wrap your head around what the learning context is. If you have a classroom, for example, then, does the classroom have what you physically need? You need a projector or a smart board or something like that. Does the classroom have that? How close is the classroom or the conference room to the place that your learners are going to be performing? So, are you teaching in a quiet environment where they're going to be working in a noisy, or do you even have in that environment, in the classroom, the tools you need for teaching the stuff you want? And then, the other questions are the adaptability for changing up your teaching styles, and then are there any constraints to the classroom? And then, so how does that fit when you're online? Well, it's tempting a lot of times to look at the learning context as the LMS. Oh, we're going to put all this stuff in Moodle, and Moodle can do all these great things, or we're going to put this in Captivate Prime Pro, whatever they call that. Anyway, that's not the learning context. It still comes down to that physical location that the learner is going to be in when they're taking the class. And while you can do a lot of really fun simulations to really sort of simulate different environments and simulate the working environment with scenarios, and branching scenarios are my favorite, actually, when they include some video, because I love video. But it really comes down to it. So that's why I figured I'd make this while I'm walking to the coffee shop, because for the next couple hours, my learning context is going to be a coffee shop. So you really want to interview your students and find out, are they learning? Are they going to be taking the class, the workshops and all that stuff? Are they going to do it on a train? Are they going to do it on a commute? Are they going to do it at their desk? Are they going to do it in a common conference room? Or, are they going to do it in a coffee shop? So I'm almost there. I hope everyone has a good day. So more questions, more ideas. I'm loving this. Let's see if we can keep it up all year.